Dome Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. If I'm laughing, I'm probably gonna be talking about the circus. You know what I mean? That heavyweight thing going down. With Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, and it's something else. Going on right now. And I ain't really got time for it because I got to catch up on my Wimbledon. You know what I'm saying? Wimbledon going on. I've neglected my Wimbledon, and I don't do that. You know, that's priority. So I'm gonna catch up on that. So it won't be no boxing video after this one. But let me tell you something, right? I wasn't doing no video extra about heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua signing 2 dates at Wembley Stadium. One in September, the date that they weren't supposed to be able to get, right? But they signed one in September and one in April. I think this is information for all the boxing nerds. We already know that. I didn't think it was worthy of a headline because so, what I mean? Anthony Joshua's fighting in Wembley. All of his fights have been in England. Now he's fighting in Wembley, which is a big thing in England, because everybody ain't filling up Wembley. Wembley, all right? You ain't just walking up in there filling up Wembley. So that's big for England, and so at the end of the day, no one's really disappointed about him not fighting Deontay Wilder and unifying the division. Now, my point here is this: let me just bluntly spit it out, right? If Anthony Joshua and Povetkin, that fight happens in September, right? I think it's going to be the 22nd, right? If that fight sells out, we won't see Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua probably ever. Okay, in 2020. Now I told you wasn't happening in 2018, right? Got the wrong hat on right now. Should have my told you hat on. I told you wasn't happening in 2018. And I told you that early in 2018. And I told you it was gonna be a circus. Y'all know. I don't want to try to break it out, mess around and bring the lyrics back on you. We know it's gonna be a circus. You just know what time it is. You knew how people were talking, how people were maneuvering. So it wasn't happening. 2019 might be a problem too, guys. Okay, because at the end of the day, let Povetkin fight sell out. Okay, and then it's over with a Deontay Wilder fight because he's like, wait a minute, this dude's dope, right? And just coming back, and I'm about to fight Povetkin, and we're about to sell out Wembley. And why the hell would I fight a Deontay Wilder? Gets even worse at that point. And then in April, let me just be straight up with you guys. England, the winner of Dillian White versus Joseph Parker is going to be a bad dude, right? And we'll probably fill out a stadium with Anthony Joshua in April. Dillian White versus Joseph Parker winner, that scenario, if Dillian White goes in there and takes care of Joseph Parker easier than Anthony Joshua did, he is a stadium fight for Anthony Joshua because he beat him already in the amateurs and had a messed up arm in the next fight. That's huge in England. I see that happening. Joseph Parker goes out here and dispatches of Dillian White emphatically, right? Then that rematch is on and popping because first of all he got to say is let's get a different referee, right? Deontay Wilder ain't getting fought anytime soon if they sell out Wembley. Simple as that. Now, it's something that I always got to mention. I don't care if I talk about Formula One, right? I'm talking about Formula One because we got the race coming up. They're going to Silverstone, baby. It's on, right? But let me tell you something. Every time I talk about anything in the next month or two, I'm gonna make sure until this gets signed, Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Povetkin is still not signed. A week and 2 days after a 24-hour deadline. The deadline that got in the way of the unification fight between him and Deontay Wilder, that deadline, it was 24 hours. It's a week and 2 days. So that's just something you must keep up with. Like I said, Povetkin's been dope anyway. I don't know why people are so, want to get hyped about this fight. I just think it's a big sigh of relief. If you ask me, it's a sigh of relief, and we can have this fight instead of that unification fight, which is ridiculous for boxing fans. But there is nothing else new I can say about this. All I can say, let me just turn this around. If this were Deontay Wilder, right? If Deontay Wilder, right, and because he has so-called fanboys, which you got to take issue to, But if Deontay Wilder were to turn down 50 million to fight anybody on the planet, anybody, right? And then come back his next fight, I'm talking about Jimmy Linear Jr. being there talking about, it's showtime, time. Why is echoing in here? Because there ain't nobody in there. Let me tell you something. Would nobody come? Deontay Wilder doesn't have fanboys or whatever you guys like to call these people. Those are people that follow people unconditionally, or someone who's a fan of the boxer instead of boxing. Deontay Wilder has boxing fans. He's earned their respect. It's like if he obviously not wanting to fight somebody, he would have issues because he's got other issues already in the States. So, if he ain't fighting nobody, oh no, it'd be empty in there. Already ain't that full in the first place. You understand? So, no, he would have problems. That would be a big problem if he were to turn down 50. Now people say, well, it's a whole lot more for. No, okay, then let's say if Deontay Wilder turned down 20 million, since he makes a lot less, substantially less than Anthony Joshua, turn down 20 million to fight Anthony Joshua wherever. You know what I mean? Then he would have a problem fighting his next fight. You see what I'm saying? And then that's the problem there, right? And don't come back and talk about, well, it's 20 million on the table right now. No, 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 no. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about you get 15 million and someone gets 85 million. Who the hell is that other someone? If he's from this planet, it wouldn't be correct, would it? Now, we don't going to go get that entitled. Now, do we? All right, that would be ridiculous. No one is that much better than Deontay Wilder. Can we agree on that? Really? So no, that wouldn't be. But he would have a problem if this was turned around. So I don't think he would be able to fill up nothing, not even Alabama. Okay, after something like that. So if like I told you guys, my point here is just simple. If Povetkin and Anthony Joshua sell out, then that's it. We won't see that fight anytime soon. Now, you've been hearing things, because people can't really, really argue the point. So they start arguing around these things, and so they try to talk about Deontay Wilder's resume. Now, I don't really have to hear that. Anybody that knows Norman knows I've broken it down and all of his opponents and the opponents what they went on to do after. You know what I'm saying? What they went on to do after fighting Deontay Wilder, right? Some of these so-called bums, I like to see some people, it's ridiculous. So he's fought some people. And then you have to weigh in the people that he should have fought, that they were doped, and things like that. So when you take that whole resume, then it's decent. Now, if the resume is so bad, then why is this the most lucrative fight? You're making yourself look a little bit ridiculous when you're saying he's no one. Look who he's fought. Somebody wrote who he's fought in 40 fights and stuff like that. Well, if it were that, why is it the most lucrative fight? If it were that, why wouldn't someone just go say, man, 50 million to beat this guy with that resume? We're not there yet. So you're not making sense. You understand? Don't embarrass yourself, right? If you're a person, maybe sometimes these things are so ridiculous right now because this is simple to see. Like I told you guys before, I don't believe these are people. To be honest with you, sometimes it's just some chaos stuff coming from YouTube or something, because people can't really just see this and not really be my man's girlfriend or something and be thinking like this. At the end of the day, two fighters should be fighting, right? But whatever, there's nothing else to really talk about that because I don't. Let me make this clear too. I personally don't care if that fight happens between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua ever, ever, because I had to live through Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe. So this one will be just another one of those for me, and it happens, right? They're all over the place. We can go down the middleweight. I can tell you something's going on right now, right? So it's not the only case. It's just so obvious, and it's our heavyweights, and we kind of thought both of them were bad, and both of them wanted each other. Once you put 50 million on the table, there's nothing else to really talk about at that point. Nowhere. Like I told you before, if it's not Mars, it has to happen. Right? I don't care who got it, whatever. And then you talk about flat and it goes up even more than that. Really? Now, the last time that we didn't get a fight that was that lucrative, right, was when, when something else was going on, some doping issues. Manny Pacquiao didn't want to take a dope test. Now, I don't know, if that's issues or whatever, but we're gonna say Josh was clean until something else happens. The man's clean. I'm not gonna go there and just act like he's on something, right? A lot of people do think that, right? I think he's basically getting off of it right now, and that's always a problem when you fight Deontay Wilder. Most people get busted when they fight Deontay Wilder. If it was Povetkin, if it was Warwick, a lot of people forget Warwick also, and then Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz. You're going to be tested and vigorously when you deal with Deontay Wilder, so everyone knows that. But that doesn't have anything to do with Anthony Joshua. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I just think basically he doesn't really fancy this fight, and I'm not in the minority anymore here, right? Just so I am repeating myself. But back to the top. This video is about this. Let's make sure that's the last thing I say, so everybody can focus. Focus on this. If Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Povetkin sells out Wembley, Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua is done. Dome Sports Talk worldwide, and I'm about to hit y'all.